Love running it. Sometimes people after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
A lot of times it's that first read that you had. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. He has certainly made the most of his catches so far, both of them going for touchdowns here in half number 1.
And we've never met a team that doesn't talk about getting off to a fast start and featuring guys that they want to have the ball early. We're seeing both of those come into play here. Off to an incredible start, got their feature guy going, and now everyone else should have opportunities.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
It's a gain of 5.
The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get our tour started out at venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. Big Zeke, Ezekiel Elliott, 2 touchdown runs. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. The Broncos trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Finally, we're off to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. Jacoby Brissett has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Their own 23-yard line.
With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait till the season's over. But he
looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller, and he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Prater on to add the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 26.
The spotlight now focuses on the quarterback, and that's Tom Brady. And boy, Charles, they have to find a way to just get him some time to breathe back there. He's been pressured throughout this game.
And I'll bet in his mind he's thinking the focus shouldn't be on how many times I've gone down. It's where is it happening? Where are the breakdowns up front? He'll never say it publicly because good leaders don't do that. But they've got to figure out what's happening in the offensive line to keep people away from him so he actually has a chance to throw the football, because so far that has not been the case.
5 full sacks against him. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Montez Sweat, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created a... Avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of her.
1st and 10 at their own 31.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. They'll get this out to Barkley, complete.
The pass.
Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 2.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. John Ross. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And this offense is running away with this one.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
At the 33-yard line.
Play action. Now it's Brady. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The sack backs him up 3rd and long. Tough challenge for Brady and the Bucs. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's having a day here in quarter number 3. Over 100 yards, couple touchdowns. Every receiver's hope for when they head into that game in the National Football League.
And his team is loving.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. John Ross with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And this Washington offense continuing to add to their lead. And his kick is right through. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch that may lead to a knockout.
lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here's the Tampa Bay offense and Ronald Jones leading him out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score. Those are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Chase Young, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Back now at FedEx Field, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Let him hold it,
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
It's a gain of 5.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Flush to it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Justin Houston able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like the fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
Back now comes Tampa Bay. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, it's Brady. Over the middle to Evans. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Brady will try again on 2nd down. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. The Bucs on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic, 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Brady again. And now another one thrown incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
A 41-yard punt there with no return.
At their own
John Ross and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. A chance here on this drive to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark.
Throw him the ball. Throw him the ball. Forget analysis, all right? Let's just root a little bit here. Get him the football and get past that 200-yard mark.
Well, you want that. You seem excited. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They seemingly just continue to score at will, and as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
And I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win, but one team has obviously imposed its will on the other and broken them, because what we're seeing right now, wow, that's a defense that's in tatters after what they faced in this ball game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Chase Young in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone, and you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out, and I think their philosophy is we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Chase Young, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the first down sack. Brady in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Here's Bradley Pena now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. 39 yards on the punt. Give him just 1 yard on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. That one looks like he'll throw here. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
Washington.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
You can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, the win moves them to 12-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.